Oi, oi. Welcome to the match day hangover. So, the University of Arsenal, 3, Forest, nil. Let's face it, Arsenal are like a fucking box of chocolates, and you definitely do not know what you're going to get with this, do you? But enough of destroying the Jenny anyway. Thankfully, look, we showed finally a bit of attacking intent for the vast majority in the match, and we won comfortably. Shock. Almost like it should be the blueprint for us moving forward, isn't it? And for a change, I wasn't bored shitless for 2 solid hours. I left the Emirates in a pretty half decent mood for a change. And do you know what? I will absolutely drink to that, people. Anyways, before I introduce my guest this evening, don't forget, drop a like, a cheeky little subscription on the channel. It makes the world of difference. I'll be flying to Portugal for the Tuesday's game. So I'll be posting some vids while I'm in Portugal. So look out for those. I'm also working on a stream called Everything Wrong with Arsenal. It features a fully detailed merch watch from the start of the season now. I've done my digging. Proof of how sly and greedy this fucking club are. Some accounts from long-standing Arsenal fans, some you may know, and how this club has taken the absolute piss out of them, the atmosphere, top gooners, and more. So today we're going to be talking Arsenal v Forest, bit of Ethan Ranieri, bit of Arteta, bit of Lisbon in midweek, and then we're going to close. And I found it again, the wanker of the week. Let's stay in tune for that, see who gets that. So it's at my absolute double pleasure to introduce my guest, man. He's been in my chat recently, spitting fact upon fact upon fact, hitting fucking home run upon home run upon home run. He's recently on Believe doing exactly the same thing. He's just started his channel as well, so don't forget to give that a little like in the sub. Rashid, my brother, how are we doing?
Hey, I'm buzzing. I can't lie. You know what? I actually watched you for like 4 minutes and I was straight away, this guy's family. This guy thinks like me. 4 minutes. And I shit you not, 4 minutes. But yeah, I'm buzzing. I'm ready, and you already know anything about Arsenal. I'm already ready. Everything's here. Everything's here. Got all
We've
the
seen it all,
answers. Got all the answers. All the answers.
mate. That's
I'm
what we
sick and
want,
tired of this. I'm sick
mate.
and
Shout
tired of
out your
this.
channel and all, bruv. Just while
Hey,
we're there, shout out your channel, bruv.
Hey, my channel's it's a new channel, and we're trying to get somewhere. We're trying to put a voice out there, for people like me, X, and a lot, and Northside, Lee, and many more. We're trying to voice our opinions, and it may go against the majority of the people, but do we care? No. What we care about is facts. Okay, when the season's over, we come back and we have a talk about it. That's all I can say.
Yeah,
So it's
no,
Arsenal
no,
Revolution TV.
yeah. People, yeah. Make sure you go and give Rashid some love, man. Like he's saying, and like I've said during the intro, he's talking absolute facts. And the annoying thing is voices like ours, unfortunately, are a bit of a minority, especially on this YouTube thing. And I promise you, bruv, definitely in the Emirates Stadium, mate. Definitely in this stadium, we are very much a minority. So people like us, we need to have a little speak out. But we'll sort of come back to some bits like that in a little bit. But listen, Arsenal v Nottingham Forest, yeah, comfortable 3-0 win, which I certainly didn't expect. To be fair, the way Forest were playing, aside from that Newcastle 3-1 home sort of loss, they were absolutely smashing it at the start of the season. And Arsenal, we were playing absolute dog shit. But, we attacked for a change, and it could have been 5 or 6. What did you sort of make of yesterday, mate?
I predicted a win. The reason why I predicted a win is because the pressure's off. Majority of Arsenal fans have gave up on the title. As you can see, you've heard. So when there's no pressure, Arsenal play well, and it's been like this for years and years and years. And you've seen it, I've seen it, everyone's seen it. So yeah, that's why we won, in my opinion. And the other thing I would like to add is because the not having Havertz and Martinelli in the team kind of made us more fluid, in my opinion, of course. So I
Yeah,
think that was one of the reasons why we were so, we bullied Nottingham Forest, because we really bullied them, to be honest. Yeah. But
200. Go on, mate. Sorry, go on, carry on, bruv. I cut you there, bruv.
no, I just wanted to end it by like, it was nice to see a more attacking Arsenal. I feel like Arsenal can do way better than what they're doing right now. Okay, to be honest, this defensive football, what I'm trying to put out there is that the defensive football is not working. Okay, Arteta knew it was not gonna. It's not working, and maybe he's changed. I don't know. For me personally, I don't think we're gonna win anything with this manager, to be honest. But
Yeah,
who knows with the midfield, like when Arsenal started, when the lineup was out, I looked at the lineup. The first thing I looked at was Marino and Jorginho, and I think a lot of us, yeah, exactly. So I was shocked, but as you can see, first half, what happened to Jorginho? Off you
stank
go.
the fuck. Yeah, yeah. That's it. Yeah, his legs are gone and not good enough. He's almost like a shit El Nenny now, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? Like that's sort of where I think he's sort of at. It's a good point that you sort of make as well. While you're sort of saying about Arsenal, it's only one win. Um, we need about another 5, 6, maybe even 7 plus sort of wins on the bounce like that before we even consider a conversation about us turning the corner. Do you know what I mean? Like, Arteta, obviously, he's been playing this sloppy, awful, vulgar, crap defensive football for quite some time now. I mean, you sort of consider he started that way last season, didn't he? All the way up to that super duper trip to Dubai. And then we started playing sort of like, well, and just like what you said, bruv, soon as that pressure started getting on, after remember we come back from Dubai and we were spanking the West Ham 6-0, the Sheffield Uniteds.
Crystal
We were giving
Palace.
them pacing after pasting. But once that pressure started getting on, we started fair dues to us. We started grinding the 1-0s and things like that. Old Trafford, we played well against Tottenham. But when it really mattered, in the game that really mattered, we absolutely shit the bed and left skids on our way out of it against Aston Villa, didn't we? So there's a lot left for us to do in terms of our mind being changed with the way that Arteta's sort of going to play this team. I just sort of hope, and I know you're going to be the same, Rashid, as well, that we're going to use this as like some form of a platform, for us to sort of go, look, we attacked and played well for the vast majority of the whole entire game, really, yesterday. I mean, we've only usually see it in 45-minute spurts, don't we? But it was actually all right for the vast majority of the 90 minutes. Well, you said something about the starting lineup as well that I want to sort of dig into, man. The Jorginho and Mourinho together, bruv. That's not a win, is it? That's not taking this team to a title, is it, mate? It's
X,
not.
look, X. What do you think? Let's be honest here, okay? Um, Marino is a slow midfielder that what is he really good at? See, I don't know what he's good at. Maybe tackling, but he's too slow. You see, the thing is about the PL nowadays is pace and power.
Yeah,
So with a midfield that is slow, you won't get anywhere. So me just seeing that Jorginho's slow and Moreno. So it was and respect for Arteta for doing that as well
yeah,
because he actually took Jorginho off and as you saw, different game. Party absolutely bossed it. I don't think you can play with slow midfielders anymore in this time and age. Yeah, that's my opinion.
yeah. Yeah, you get found out, didn't you? Do you know what I mean, maybe you can get away with one, but you've got the likes of Mourinho on there, Marino rather, not Mourinho. Um, he's come into the club. Obviously, he come in with a 2-month injury, didn't he? I think he had a little clattering with our wall at the back as Gabriel. I think they had a little bit of a hug, and he come off 2 months injury. He's got to absolutely find his feet at this club, isn't he, Mourinho? Because I'm sorry, mate, like his performances have been shit. Like, and it's one of them sort of things where you're looking at this transfer window again, yeah, and you're like, all right, we signed Calafiori, but he's young, coming to a new sort of country, which a lot of Italians don't do. You think, yeah, you probably need to give him a little bit of time, but we haven't got time to give, albeit we've got about 80 fucking left backs. And then you look at the Marino coming in and you think, well, I thought, especially, we were going to sign 2 midfielders, like, and then we've only come in with this 28, nearly 29-year-old midfielder who's South Sociedad's third best midfielder, by the way. He had 1 year left on his deal, and I think we've spent onwards and upwards of 30, 35 million quid on the geezer. I mean, and it took us all fucking summer to sign him. You need, especially when you're going for a title, you need these players to come in and instantaneously hit the ground running. We ain't got time to be waiting for these players to, get their feet a little bit wet before they start sort of walking into the side. Do you know what I mean? And then before they start swimming, we need them to start performing now. And Mourinho, he just hasn't been doing that. What do you think of him since he's sort of been here? Do you share a similar opinion with me, bro?
I think him signing Marino, what he was trying to create a new Jacker. He wanted him to be the new Jacker.
Yeah,
I didn't rate Jacker anyway, but I think the last year was good. But apart from that, Jacker was absolutely horrendous every game, week in, week out. Jacker was part of the problem. Since Jacker came to the club, we didn't get Champions League until he left. Just to put it out there. See the
yeah,
midfield. See the midfield is the most important thing in the team. You have a strong midfield. Nobody has won the PL or any title in the world without a strong midfield.
yeah.
Okay. Real
Facts.
Madrid used to win. Thank you. Real Madrid used to win Champions Leagues with a strong midfield. We know them.
Mate.
Cassie,
Cruz,
Kroos, strong
mate.
midfield.
Modric, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? Like, look at that. You look at even. Let's just go all the way back to Arsenal's title winning team. You look at the '98 team, Vieira, Petit. You go to the 2002 teams, 2004 teams. You've got Gilberto Silva and you've got Patrick Vieira. Beasts midfields. And, you're talking as well, like if one or two of them are injured, you've got Edu. We'll get to that geezer. It's not the same as 2004 Edu. Yeah,
He
we'll get
changed.
to him. Yeah, we're not going to suck him off. But the player was a good stand-in, wasn't he? You got the likes of Ray Parler who could come off from right midfield sometimes to back up Freddie Ljungberg to come in that centre and just do a grind out sort of a job. Rob, now you're looking at them 4 or 5 sort of players that we named. 2004 Edu probably gets into this team, probably even starts. But he shouldn't be anywhere near that. Yeah, and Patrick Vieira and obviously especially Gilberto Silva. I mean, no one at the club's even fucking close to them two. You're right, mate. You need a great midfield. Jorginho maybe was good in this sort of day for Chelsea 5, 6 years ago, but not for us now. Do you know what I mean? We've got these injuries sort of piling up here, and we've got a good midfield. mm, in terms of the Declan Rices, the Thomas Partys, the Odegaards. We've got good players in there, but all of them can't really play together, in my personal opinion. And as soon as we overplay them and one of them gets injured, and we've actually had two of them out at big stages this season, God forbid Party gets injured, we get found out, don't we, bruv? We get found out. Can you see this midfield winning the Premier League title, mate? Come on, man. Innit? You just can't, can you, Rishi, bruv?
In my opinion, our midfield will not get you a Premier League. Um, our midfield will get you maybe third place, second place. You can be up there. I'm not saying that they're completely shit. No, it's like we need a baller. We need a baller. We need someone that can attack as well as defend. Okay. You see
Yeah,
Partey. See Partey. He's got a bit of that, but still not enough. Rice can only defend. Going forward, Rice is a bit shaky, to be honest. And then you've got Odegaard. You see Odegaard, he's a techie player. Everybody knows
yeah,
he's a techie player, tidy. But you see Odegaard when he gets rough in the midfield, some teams are gonna come to Arsenal and rough. They're gonna get rough. They're gonna try to, what I'm saying, try to bully you off the park. That's when Odegaard but that's when you don't need Odegaard really, or you need to
yeah,
hook him, basically. So a player like Ethan trying to you know, show that, "Hey, look at me, manager. I'm here, gaffer. Look at me. Every game, every game, like he's been every game he comes in, he makes an impact. So I
yeah.
don't know what he needs to get to get a game. See, Arteta has favorites, and these favorites just the thing is he'll sink the boat. He'll sink the boat because of these favorites. The boat's gonna sink because of these favorites. Just favorites. I just watch it. What's his name? The number 20 player for Ipswich,
Hutchinson.
Hudson. He was
Yeah,
playing for us, right? He was
yeah,
playing for us. Amari. That guy, I think he left because of Saka, because they wanted Saka to, like Arsenal fans, they're always like, "Oh, Saka, don't disturb it. He's doing well. We can't get someone else just in case, he dips." No, Man City. This is how Man City win titles. Man City win titles with rotation. Rotation,
100%.
my friends.
Mate, you see it as well, you know, their use of Phil Foden now, it was criticised, wasn't it, Man City's use of Phil Foden, especially in the first couple of years, just as he was coming through. You know, he's not getting enough minutes, etc., etc. But you look at them, say for argument's sake, last season, um, they sort of brought him in, and he was player of the season last season, but they just managed that geezer so well, haven't they? You know, Kevin De Bruyne was out, he comes in, you know, you can have him. Pep Guardiola would have Phil Foden score a bloody hat trick, and we've seen him do it, score a hat trick or a brace, and then bench him for 2 games. All right, yeah, thank you very much for the hat trick, sweet buzzing. Anyway, you'll be playing in a fortnight's time because for this game I want Kevin De Bruyne or etc. etc. I'm going to play a different way. We're just like Arteta just shits the bed, doesn't he? He's just like first 11, first 11, first 11, no rotation. And then over 2 years, and we've been bloody lucky, haven't we, over 2 years, mate, in terms of injuries. I know 2 years ago, towards that end, you know, we had the Saliba and the Tomiyasu injury at the same time, which really, really hurt our title chances. But mostly last season, other than Party and the Timber, obviously, you know, we had a pretty clean bill of health, didn't we? Now over them 2 years, and maybe even if you want to say 3 years, you know, challenging Tottenham for the top four where we finished fifth and shit on Knickers again. Um, Finally, it's catching up with us, Rashid, isn't it, mate? Do you know what I mean? It's catching up with us. We're playing these players week in, week out, and shock, we're getting injuries. We're not just getting a couple of little weakers here, there, or a little bug. Do you know what I mean? A bit of a flu. We're getting Odegaard 3 months. We're getting Mourinho 2 months. We're getting Declan Rice, who's not really shaking bits off. We've got Ben White now, who's out 4 months. But annoyingly, he might as well have just been out for the old time because now we know he's absolutely desperate of an operation. Mikel Arteta's coming out in press conferences going, well, you know, we weren't really too sure about him, so we carried on playing and it won't really get any better. Of course, it's not fucking getting any better, Mikel, you spastic. He's fucking injured and he needs surgery. Of course, it's not going to get better. It's not who in their right mind would actually seriously think, bruv, and now take this in its isolation, yeah? You've got a bad knee or a broken knee and you think, all right, well, I'll just carry on playing for a little bit. And you think that that's going to get better. Then you're gone, mate. That's fucking madness. And that's the same thing that Mikel Arteta's doing. He's leading this club, bruv. And he's not just leading this club. He's fucking dominating this club. He's got his bastard little claws into everything. And I don't like it, man. What's your sort of take on the Arteta thing? Because I know where you're going to go with this. I know
Yeah.
where you're going to go, and I like it, by the way.
Thank you, thank you.
Go on,
Um,
man. You go.
my opinion, I know why the players are getting injured. It used to happen with Klopp. Klopp used to run the players to the ground. That's how he did because of the constant pressure. You know, how they defend, constant pressure. Just like we're doing this year. So because of that constant pressure, every game, 90 minutes, and we're playing game after game. And you know, there's more games now than
Yeah.
there usually is. So because of that constant pressure all the time, always defending for 80 minutes. Let's be honest, how we've been defending for 70, 80 minutes against every team. We've been parking the bus against every team. I mean, until yesterday. But before that, every team we defend for 70 minutes or 80.
Yeah.
See that gets you injuries. See, there
Too right,
needs to
mate.
be a balance. There needs to be a balance when we defend. So we defend like 30 minutes, maybe 40, and then we attack for 60, and vice versa. Sorry, not 60. But
Yeah,
I mean,
I
like
get you.
we attack for the rest of the game. But we've been defending the whole game, and the players are getting tired, and it's the same players, by the way. Rice, Partey, they say they play every game. He
Yeah.
doesn't touch the defenders that much. He doesn't change them that much. Even if he does or he doesn't, we've got Tomiyasu, injury prone. Timber, injury prone. Calafiore, injury prone. Do you know? Isn't there like medical? I swear, before you sign for a club, there's like medical tests, right?
Yeah.
Did they not clock this? Did they not clock this?
Mate,
How can
listen,
I
yeah.
not?
And we've had this for years, and every club sort of got it now. But do you remember? I can't think quite how long ago it was, but it was a little while ago that we were one of the first teams to sort of get this like technology in training, etc., where you can see if they're going to the red zone. I think we were one of the first sort of clubs to have that. So obviously we must have had the best sort of equipment to gauge sort of players' injuries, fatigue, etc., etc. I know it can never gauge for accidents or bad challenges, whatever. But bruv, we've got the best in class in terms of technology. Yeah, we have got the best in class in terms of doctors. They're not hiring no fucking NHS doctors here at Arsenal. You know, they're not hiring any medical team. They're not NHS. Big up to the NHS, by the way. It's not a knock to them, but they've got the best in class here. Do you know what I mean? How the fuck can we just keep getting this repeated injury? And it's not just all right. We've, like I said, I'll touch on. I don't want to contradict myself. We've had a little bit of a touch over the last couple of years with sort of injuries, but we always, throughout probably the last 15 or so years, just constantly get these injuries. And like I said, they're never a little week or a 2 weeks. They're always months, aren't they? They're always months nowadays. How the fuck can we not be able to get over something like this, man? And the thing is like what I was saying on my show yesterday or the day before, it's like a little circle, yeah? So like you're playing all your players, you haven't got a big squad. So you're running them into the ground, they get injured. But you haven't got a big squad to cover all the injuries, so you're playing all the players again. But now you're running them into the ground even more, and then
After
you get
spending how
injured.
much?
It's a fucking circle, mate. It does. I've been spending how much? Nearly 800 million quid in 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 what we saying 5 years. And do you know what? To be fair of that, it's probably more 4.5 years because we all know Mikel Arteta signed sort of early doors in next month in December. And that transfer window in the winter, I think he only signed Pablo Mari maybe for about, I think it's between like 4 and 6, 7 million there or thereabouts. Cedric for fucking free, and I can't quite remember if it was anyone else, mate. But I mean, it was hardly a prolific window, was it? So really, I mean, you can reset that and say, you know, it really started in until the summer. 4.5 years, bruv. He's blown the best part of this 800 million. Why on earth are when we've got Rice injured, are we starting with Mourinho and fucking Jorginho in the midfield and expecting us to be a top side? I don't get it, bruv. I don't get it, mate. And we've absolutely fucking 100% spunked a lot of that money up there, mate. And whose fault is it? Arteta's and Edu's. And I know a geezer on this panel that wants to have a little fucking whinge about me, about Edu. Do you know what I mean? And his name is you, innit, bruv?
Yes,
Cool, mate.
sir.
I'm going to let you
Yes,
go with
sir.
this because I know
Hey,
you're not very happy with this scenario. So, mate, you take the show.
I think after spending that amount of money, I expect a certain quality of players, certain amount of players. I expect rotation because 800 million, not every team in the world gets 800 million.
Not every
So
manager either.
not every manager. Thank you very much. Like you can, as you can see, I think if you gave 800 million to a Klopp or a Pep, different story. You wouldn't be seeing these players. The thing is that he bought players for different, like let's say for example, he bought Havertz for midfield, and then when he didn't work out, he put him as a striker. You know, he's
Yeah,
putting him with play. He bought Ben White as a centre back. When he stinked it the whole year, what did he do? Move into the to right back. You know,
yeah,
there's a bad decision after bad decision after bad decision, and there's no accountability. Nobody cares how he spent that 800 million. I've got a list. I've told you about it. I've got a list of all Edu signings until it's 779 million. We just say 800 to round it up. I've
yeah,
got a
yeah, yeah,
list.
yeah.
Edu was a big part of this problem. Edu was a big part, huge part, actually, because him and Arteta, name me a baller these two bought us in 800 million. With Top Goon is telling me that, oh, when we get Champions League, we'll get quality players. Where are they? Where are they? The only quality player we have, well, two, is Saliba and Gabriel, and they weren't Arteta signings. We're talking top notch. We've got one of
Yeah.
the best defenders in the world, two centre backs. We've got one of the best in the world, and they
Yeah,
weren't Arteta signings. Arteta bought Declan Rice for 105 million, and there was Caicedo, and there was Lavia. We could have bought them both if we added an extra 15 or 20. We could have bought two midfielders. Fair enough, Lavia got injured, whatever, but still, he would have been available for this year. and you wouldn't have this problem of playing Jorginho, that's 40 years old.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? What does Jorginho bring to the team? He
Zimmer
played
frame
45.
and a
Really?
fucking blue badge. Do you know what I mean? Fucking free parking. That's all he does, mate, isn't it?
Exactly.
And a free bus pass for fuck's sake.
Ex-
Come on,
exactly.
man.
They told me that we bought him for experience. I didn't see any experience on the pitch. I didn't see experience when we bought the titles last year. Where was he then? He was supposed to show his experience then. He got
Yeah,
hooked against Nottingham Forest. He got hooked. 45 minutes.
mate.
There's nothing wrong with him.
Mate, and
There's-
even just to cut you in just quick there, mate. Even Arteta, who's the worst in-game manager of fucking all time in terms of managers anywhere in any country, even he must have seen, fuck me, this geezer's a little bit shit, and I need to make a change. And that's Arteta. He's absolutely shit. Do you know what I mean? Even he's noticing it. Jesus Christ,
yeah.
that says everything. Do you know what I mean? You're right. Where was it? Where was all of that? Where was all of that experience to get us over the line?
I didn't see anything X, to be honest. Aaron, I'm gonna be honest with you. Arsenal from 2000 since Thierry Henry left, it just went to shit. This whole club went to shit after he left. I know it wasn't just him. There was Vieira, Bergkamp, and there was other ballers. You know, Perez. There was other ballers. Ashley Cole, Sol Campbell. There was a lot of ballers, but
Yeah,
2006 and upwards, we've been on a roundabout since then. It's just a roundabout and roundabout. I can tell you the season right now. There's no read for you to go watch the games. There's no point. I can tell you, love, but I can tell you the season, how the season will go right now. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
yeah,
Look, Liverpool are 9 points ahead of us. Now we're gonna keep chasing them. We're gonna keep chasing them for the whole year. Now the problem is that people are gonna tell me, oh, they're gonna drop points. So are we. So are we gonna drop points? What do you
I
expect? We're
know,
gonna win. Do you get what I'm trying to say? You've heard it before, Aaron. You've heard it
Rob.
before.
I know.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Come.
no, what I'm trying to say is that look, this roundabout has to stop. That's actually one of the reasons I want to jump online. I wanted to voice my opinions. I just started this year. I don't know anything about YouTube. I just started this year. I was listening. I was a fan. I was just listening to to everyone on Northside, Ligana, these because I started off listening to AFTV and then I was like, no,
Yeah,
these are not my I don't I
yeah,
don't think I don't think like them, and I don't think they make sense in my mind. They're not making sense because in my mind it's accountability, just like if I have a job and I keep screwing up, what does the manager say? Oh, sorry, mate, you gotta go. Why? Because it's
yeah,
accountability. That's how it
yeah.
is. That's
You're
how
not
the
performing. You're not performing, mate. You sort of get that. Look, listen. We've all sort of had a bad sort of a job or a bit of work, mate. I've had it come up to me where I've lost a little bit, lost a little bit of interest in the job a long time ago, and my manager come up to me and he was like, "Az, what's going on, mate?" Because I'll put it blunt with you, and I've always appreciated that. He was like, "You're shit at the minute, mate. What's going on?" Like, and I had a little giggle because I was in my head. I was just like, "Yeah, I am a bit shit at the minute because I don't really care." He's like, "Look, mate, if it carries on, you're fucking gone." He basically just gave me an ultimatum: sort my fucking life out, or I'm fucked off. I eventually sort of left after sort of 2 weeks anyway because I was just like, "Look, everyone's noticing I'm stinking the fucking place out. I might as well piss off." But there's no accountability with that with Mikel Arteta, mate. We've seen this geezer, yeah, and Emery gets a little bit of a bad rap. Now, look, I'm not Emery's hugest of fans, but one thing we've got to say is the geezer didn't get fucking chance. He didn't really get, especially considering when you see the chance that Mikel Arteta's have got rather. He didn't really get a chance. But the point that I'm sort of making is he's had a long time now, 5 years worth of finishing eighth, and he picked up. Everyone sort of says, "Oh yeah, he won it with an Emery sort of squad." Yeah, that's absolutely fair dues. But he also then technically, if you want to flip it on the other side, he picked up a winning team. So like, what's these top gooners whinging about? Like, he's actually technically picked up a winning squad. They was in the Champions League final. I wish they was in the Europa League final, albeit fucking Chelsea turned up and Havertz turned up and absolutely took the piss out of us in Baku. But he didn't pick up a shit squad like everyone sort of makes out. Do you know what I mean? We had good players up there, and You know, he finished eighth for that team. Emery didn't finish eighth for that team. He got to two finals. Well, we didn't get to two finals. Got to one final, and he got fucking fifth place for that team. Only narrowly missing out, I think, on Liverpool. On Liverpool, maybe on the last day. Maybe I'm slightly wrong. I digress. Mikel Arteta's at eighth. He's at eighth. He's bottled a fucking bottled a top four race with Spurs of all people, and not only just bottled it in terms of points. We went to that fucking Spurs shithole stadium and we got our pants pulled down, mate. Do you remember when the Holding got sent off? Fucking Son and Kane just
Son.
absolutely ran riot. We had Holding at the back, Cedric at the fucking back. I mean, that absolutely honked. He was in charge for 2 years at that point. Who squads it then? Because he got rid of all the other fuckers. He got rid of all the winners that pretty much on that FA Cup sort of side, and he was just left for the shit. Whose fault's that? It's his fault. And then what we get? We get fucking 8 and 11 points nearly a lead at some stage in the league, and we absolutely pissed that up the wall and finished 5 points behind City in the end. You can say an extra point because we was miles behind them on goal difference as well. So even an extra 5 points wouldn't have done it. And then we shit the bed again the years later. Where's the accountability for this geezer, Rashid? Because all I'm seeing is top spastic gooners can trust the process. You're not a real fan. You're toxic. You're this. You're that. All I'm fucking doing is using my little fucking peepers just to like the same as you're doing and going, this geezer's not fucking won anything. He's had a lot of time. He's had a lot of fucking money. Let's get that right. He spent more than Real Madrid in the last 10 years. Look what Real Madrid won. They fucking won about 4 or 5 Champions League titles in there. That's just that alone. They probably might have even won another one more. It's either 4 or 5. Come on, man. We have spent a lot of money and we've invested a lot in this geezer and he's not performing. Why would we be Arteta out? Because you don't fucking win anything. And look at what's happened in this season, Rashid, just alone, yeah? Now, Arsenal have been desperate for a little cheeky Man City fall off. I think the Premier League probably has been desperate for Man City fall off in general, but we finally get it. And this is the summer, yeah, guys, where we it's a pivotal window and we overtake Manchester City, and we fucking let Arne Slot do it. It's fucking mad. What do you make of that shit, bruv? We have literally, after all of this, Rashid, we have let Arne Slot come in there and be 8 points clear of Man City and 9 points Arsenal in 12 games, bruv. We've shit our knickers, mate. There's stains all over our G strings, mate. And it's not a pretty colour and it's not a pretty smell.
See, what top gooners need to understand is that the world doesn't stop when Arsenal start. See, we had 2 years to actually do something. See, I lost is not a backstop. No, it's not. I lost interest in Arteta when
Yeah.
when so when he came first, I didn't like the idea. I wanted the top manager, just like everybody else. And I know that top gooners wanted the top manager. They just rolled it because he's Pep Guardiola's assistant. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
He's gonna bring that tiki-taka football, whatever. Funny enough, this year I didn't see no tiki-taka. I saw Mourinho this year. So
David Moyes, mate, innit? That's what we see when he was fucking under him, innit? It's fucking not even Mourinho, it's Moyes, mate. Come
yeah,
on, man.
Mourinho wins. Actually wins titles.
Innit?
Hey, my
It's
bad.
fucking
Yeah, it's
David
true.
Moyes. And even he won something, for fuck's sake, innit? Come on, man. What's happening
Sean
here,
Dyche.
Rashid, bro?
Sean Dyche. Sean Dyche. That's Sean Dyche football. Oh my god, that was criminal football we were watching the whole year, this year. But when he started, I was like, okay, let's see. So I didn't say anything at first. Obviously, I was just watching. We won the cup. I was like, okay, well done. We won a cup. Okay, even though I felt like we won a cup because it was individual brilliance because we parked the bus most of the game. But against City
Yeah.
and ABBA, funny enough, ABBA was one of the reasons we won the cup. And then you know
Yeah.
what happened. The rest is history. But after that, I lost interest in this manager when he lost fourth place to Tottenham. Phase one, Tottenham with Conte, that everybody told me, oh, negative football, whatever. Against him, we lost the spot against him. So, and we were in phase three at that time. We were in phase 3. As soon as he lost that fourth spot, I was like, that's it. This manager's not a winner.
Yeah, we were miles
He's
ahead
not.
of them as well at one point. We had we opened up a right big old gap, and we pissed it up the wall. Like I said, culminating in that 3-0 loss at the shithole, isn't it? How could they
Yeah,
allow us to do that, Rob? Like what you were saying, how could they allow that?
yeah, exactly.
You're right, Rob.
Exactly. They're just trying to, because they so gassed this manager and made it out. I mean, the best looking Spaniards we know
What is
is
that
that.
all about? I think it's Lee on Northside. One of the two play like a clip, and it was like a journalist or whatever asking Mikel Arteta, and he starts it off with something like and he starts saying, "Oh, there's not even a strand of hair out of place on that head of yours." I'm like. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this geezer, yeah. If you was to instead of looking at his lips while he's talking, look down at his trousers, he's got a big old little 2-inch tent growing in there. He's looking at Arteta and he's just thinking, oh, there's not a hair out of place.
They
Those
fancy him.
eyebrows are so perfect, Mikel. Oh, and he's just like that. But the next minute, Mikel's answering his question and he's just like that.
Do you
Oh,
get me?
Mikel, what
It's
is
just
that all about, bro?
unnecessary.
Come on, man.
It's just
You
unnecessary.
dirty bastard, isn't it? But this is what feeds all of these fucking top gooners, ain't it? They're all like, oh, he's good looking though, isn't he?
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah, he's a
man. What
model.
are we doing here?
What's
Fucking
going?
the geezer's
Very weird.
right. Do you know what? He's not the ugliest geezer I've ever seen in the world, but I can give a shit if he's fucking Brad Pitt in his heyday or he's Ian Dowie of fucking West Ham in his fucking prime. Just give me a fucking title. I want to do that, bruv. I couldn't give a
Yeah.
shit about what you look like. I couldn't give a toss about if you pose on fucking Vogue magazine, all like that and all that. Give me a title. I
I
want to
think.
celebrate. I want to go down the pub and rub it in my fucking mates' faces.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. And when was the last time I've actually been able to walk around with a little bit of fucking chest like that? 2004, son. And I was only fucking 15, 16. Come on,
Yeah, I
man.
know. That's
Come
how
on.
mad it is, Aaron. You see, the thing is that it's just unnecessary. Unnecessary comments, unnecessary. You see them, we signed Calafiore, and I found some people, commenting saying, "Oh, he's got aura." Why does that matter? Why does that matter? Does he know how to play? Yay, nay, or bollocks? Okay, it's that simple for me. For me, it's
Yeah,
that simple. I do not care what you do after your life. I care about you on the pitch, and that's it.
yeah,
Now, coming to Arteta, you see, the thing is about Arteta is that when he lost that fourth place to Tottenham, the year after, we got better. We got second place. So that second place got a lot of people thinking that, oh, we might, he's getting somewhere. He's getting somewhere. All right, cool. We lost that one as well. Now, coming to last year, we were ahead of City by 11 points at one point. Do you know
yeah.
what to be ahead of to be ahead of City by 11 points and then bottle the league shows the mentality.
Yeah.
He should have resigned if he had a little bit of self-respect. He should have
Bruv,
resigned.
bruv, do you remember as well? After that, and he'd done like a little interview or something like that. And it was before the start of the next season, after he bottled the league astronomically in fucking pure wanker fashion. He actually come out, didn't he, and said, it was like, oh, I didn't actually know if I had the strength to carry on, whether I could cut. I'm sitting there thinking, oh, well, you had the strength to sign that fucking paper though, with a 15 million a year deal though, isn't it? You had the strength for that though. Funny, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's funny that you can't muster. It's all for PR, bruv. It's like, oh, I didn't know if I had the strength to carry on. Oh yeah, but that 15 million a year fucking
Yeah,
nudged you
it
in the
gave.
right direction, though, didn't it, Pickel? Didn't it, Prickel? It nudged you in the fucking right way. It's fucking greedy little bastard, man.
It
Listen,
did.
let me just read we've taken out from here from Michael. Big up Michael as well, bruv. He's a Chelsea fan, but he's fucking one of the good ones, man. And big up as well, chat. Um, so yeah, big up Aaron. The wrong uns like AFTV will crawl out the woodwork after an Arsenal win. Same thing every single time. Facts. Sporting midweek. How long were the latest Arteta noshing off last? What do you reckon, Rashid? How long is this gonna last? The old fucking what?
Yeah. I think this. So 2 years. So this year and next year. So he's not going to win anything this year, and then next year he's not going to win anything, and then yeah, that's when he's going to be sacked. That's my opinion. Yeah, they're going to have enough because at some point, you see, this year, for example, this year, if Slot wins it, they'll tell you that Klopp he inherited a great team. That's
Yeah,
what they're going to say.
yeah,
I
yeah,
We already know. So yeah, that's my opinion. So there's always an excuse. You see, there's always going to be an excuse. But in 2 years' time, seven phases, we'd probably be spending 1 billion by that time. You know, we're going to
yeah.
spend more, right? We need a striker, we need the left winger, we need a midfielder, we need a centre back.
We need it all again, mate. What's happened, isn't it? We're always only 2 or 3 players away from challenging, but all of a sudden, within a fucking click of the fingers, and we're like, we need a whole fucking team again. How has that happened? Shit signings. That's how it happened. And do you know what? Just quickly nudging on what you're saying about the excuses. I don't know if you've ever seen a show called How I Met Your Mother. There's this character in there called Barney, and he's got this little playbook he uses to chat women up. Yeah, it's a little black book. It's about that fucking thick. That's the exact same thing as what all these top gooners have got, mate. They've got a big old black fucking book, so wide, so fucking wide, that fucking thick, just of excuses and excuses. And I'm sure they've got like a little group chat of like 38 million of them, where it's just like, oh, well, this has sort of escalated or developed to today, but here's the excuse for it. They've just got like paragraph 1.2.4. If Arsenal don't win the league for 2 years after challenging, and someone else comes up and win it, here's your excuse, and you can just go down there and there'll be about fucking 10 pages just like cross-referencing all the excuses of scenarios, mate. It's fucking madness, isn't it? Like how actually you just can't have a normal conversation with them. There's just an excuse. But you know what, mate, it took me fucking very, very quickly, just like you said, it took you 4 minutes to know that you're on the same wavelength. It took me less to fucking gauge you're on the same wavelength. We think like this, bruv. We're normal. We're not fucking retards, mate. But these lot, they're absolutely gone, mate. They're honestly, bruv, they're absolutely finished. And they think that we're stupid, mate. Honestly, they think that they can come up and give us these excuses after excuses, and we're going to go because they're so used to having their little bubble of delusion going, yeah, actually, yeah, that makes a little bit of sense. But you've got the people like us that are going, what are you fucking talking about, you idiot? What are you talking about? We're real, mate.
I think I think they love players and managers more than club. I think they're in love with the manager, and I don't mean it in that way. You know, I mean it. Well, maybe, who knows? But like, they're really that's what they own. The thing is that we put Arsenal first. See,
Yeah,
I don't. I like any player. Let's say I like Saliba. Saliba's my favorite player in Arsenal. Saliba does anything wrong, yeah, I'll quickly switch on you. We don't
yeah,
need you any. We need you start dropping. You start dropping. You know your performances start dropping. Off you go. There's always Arsenal first, and then the rest. And then the rest come later. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Mate, here's a big point that AFC always makes. Big up to you, bruv. Always in the chat, man. Always love and respect for you, guy. Um, the reason why the owners and Arteta are moving like this is because they're under no pressure from the fans or hierarchy to deliver titles. The board are happy with the Champions League money, and the fans are happy with vibes. Sad to see. Let me just quickly jump in on this year because I've said this a couple of times now. I remember um, we lost the league title. I think we lost it against Aston Villa, but let's just say we mathematically could have won it at the last game of last season. Yeah, I was sat in my chair at the Emirates Stadium. The whistle went. We all got news that Manchester City had won. The title's gone over. I'm sat in it. I'm sat there like that. I'm looking around. Everyone's fucking going like that. Yeah, fucking yeah. Come on, like roaring like that. And I'm sat there like this. I'm going, no, fucking, we've just
they
lost the
wouldn't.
league today. Man City have just been crowned champions this second. Look at you all. Like, what are you doing? How mad is that? I'm out there. And look, I was with a couple of sort of like people. So after the dust had sort of like settled, I'd eventually gone out, a little bit later and had a couple of sort of beers and, to sort myself out. But in that first sort of the first moments and things like that, I'm sitting there thinking, why is everyone clapping their fucking hands for? Singing, we've got Mikel Arteta. What we've got Mikel Arteta. He knows exactly what we need. fucking Tierney at the back who ain't played in fucking God knows how long. Gabriel in attack who scores fucking a goal every 8 months. Do you know what I mean? We're on our
Exactly.
way to the Champions League. It was like, oh come on, mate. It took us about 4 years to get to the Champions League. We stank the place out and just got over the line against fucking Porto, and then we played probably the worst Bayern Munich team. I wouldn't say of my life, but certainly in the last 15 plus sort of years. We didn't even lay a glove on that shit, and they were absolutely atrocious. And we're all singing there like that. Yeah, come on. I just couldn't make it out. What were you sort of like at full time, wherever you was watching it, whether it be at home in the stadium with mates and a boozer,
Yeah,
at that
I was.
moment? Couldn't you believe that? The people were going mad.
I did. I know why. I know why. It's all about belief. See, it's all about belief. I've got my mates are Arteta-ins, so I have an idea about this. You see,
Oh, you got a couple
I'm
of you.
always,
Fuck's sake.
I have, I'm always at it. At work, same thing. I'm always. That's why I know all the excuses. Big up. But that's
Victor
why the
boy, man.
excuses. I've got all the excuses here. I've already told you, Liverpool win it. That's why. That's why.
Yeah.
City win it again. Oh well, it's Pep Guardiola. But I thought you can't beat Pep. I thought you can't beat Pep. So how suddenly Arnie Slot won with a team that was deemed he inherited the top team, but still you've had 5 years to get a top team
Yeah.
with 800 million.
Yeah.
And you told me so. There's always going to be excuse. If City win it, there's an excuse. Pep Guardiola. If Liverpool win it, they inherit the top team. So
Yeah.
it's just a round and round we go. When I heard the final whistle, I knew we were gonna. I knew we were gonna bottle the league. I knew it because we're how do you say it? We're just soft. We have soft bellies. You know,
We
we've
had for
always
years.
been that team. Yeah, we've always been that team, Aaron. For how long? I don't know. Since 2008, 2006, we've always been that team. You see, they give you an example. They tell you, oh, Klopp. When Klopp inherited the team, it took him. How long he won it once in seven. It took him 4 or 5 years to win a
Yeah.
title. I
They
told
got
him, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Champions
whoa,
Leagues in that
what?
time.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Exactly.
Come on,
Whoa, whoa,
man.
whoa. Why are you jumping Champions League? We don't have a Champions League. We haven't won anything in Europe. Nobody knows us. They just know us because of the sexy football. That's why.
Yeah. Well,
And
we've
now
been
we've
out
lost
of
that
it
as
other than
well.
last season. We've been out of it for fucking 7 years. And do you know what? The last time, I won't go too much into it. The last time we was into it, um, I was me and the fella who sits next to me with a season ticket. Sadly, and I won't go into it. He had some real shitty news. We was going to fly to Germany for that Bayern Munich leg, that we lost 5-1, and unfortunately, I had the displeasure of being at the home leg. And I will admit, people have it on camera or whatever. I walked out before half time because like I just couldn't handle it. We were 5-1 down. I think Brian Robbery and fucking what's it?
Yeah. Rib
Ribbery and fucking
Ribbery.
Robin. I'll get there in the end, isn't it? They just tore us an absolute new one. I know what was that all about. I'll speak English properly in a sec. Yeah, they just tore us a new one, and I think it was about 8-1 or 8-8 something like that, an aggregate. And I looked over to my mate Craig, who's usually in the chat and all, and I was just like. I was like, bruv, shall we just go, mate? It ain't getting any better. Like, I couldn't even stay until half time. That was our last Champions League campaign before the last season's Champions League campaign. Like, and you know what I mean? They're all quick to sort of forget that Klopp won the Champions League for Liverpool, probably what, 6 times, maybe 6 times, and he had got
Yeah.
into the Champions League final twice fucking before that. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, how can you be so stupid and dismissive of a club that has done all of that? Just when the stats slightly go into your narrative sort of form, it's absolute madness, isn't it? That's how thick they are, mate. Like someone like Lee Gunnar say born buffering. I mean, they were fucking born on their fucking
True.
head, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like they must have been like not only dropped, but they must have bounced back up and dropped again, mate. That's how fucking bad these lot are, mate. Like you can't sort of write it as a fan base, do you? Just quickly, what I wanted to say about the squad as well. Yeah, we're sort of wondering why things are going wrong. We've got Gabriel Jesus, yeah, and these are all Mikel signings, obviously. You've got Gabriel Jesus nicking 265k a week, yeah. You've got Mourinho, who just is just all out of sorts on 130k. You've got Zinchenko that came on, earning all of his 150k a week. Jorginho on 110. You got that's 655k a week, yeah, for that shit. And you add to a 280k that Havertz is on, you're nearly on a fucking. How much money is that? Like you're looking at all of these sort of wages, and you're thinking, how are we getting rid of this shit? Yeah, you've got Kai Havertz and Jesus just alone who's nicking nearly 600k a week. What are we gonna do with this squad, bruv? How do we get better? Because we all know we need a striker, and that's sort of where I just want to take it to next. We know that we need a striker, but how are we actually going to get one when we've got Gabriel Jesus, who's fucking useless, and we've got Kai Havertz, who's fucking useless, absolute fucking useless. How are we going to get rid of them? How are we actually going to get rid of these two
You caught me
geezers
by surprise.
to buy a proper striker?
My opinion, yeah. You see, Aaron, we need to understand something. Us and all the fans, everybody watching. Arteta doesn't like a bagsman. He doesn't like a killer. You see, when you have a killer, like for example, City, they have Haaland, right? Do you remember City before Haaland? How they were playing football? They were more fluid, right? They were more fluid. Everybody attacks, and the goals come from the whole team. That's what Arteta thinks he's trying to do, like to get the goals. We spread the goals around. That's what you hear. Spread the goals around. You see, he doesn't believe in a killer striker. So he believes in a ball playing striker. So see, that's where the problem lies. We're talking about strikers right now, just Havertz and Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah.
We'll get to the others afterwards, but let's focus on these. Because Gabriel Jesus, after the first ACL, he had another ACL, and Arsenal did not clock anything. Oh, wait. A player just had 2 ACLs, and you're keeping him in the club to play for a club like ours. 2 ACLs, you're done
money.
now. Exactly. It's all about money. Now they're going to lose. They're going to sell cheap. That's what they're going to do, Aaron. They're going to sell cheap, like we always do. What's the biggest? I think Iwobi was the biggest, biggest amount of money that we got for a player. I think Iwobi was.
It's Iwobi or Balogun, like one of the two. I mean, I think there's a few players on quite similar sort of sales, because we had Oxlade-Chamberlain go, I think, for like 35-ish, and then I think we had Iwobi go for 35. Like, I think there's only a couple of million between who's the top sale. I can't actually quite remember, but I mean, you put that actually into perspective. In 1999, we sold fucking Mark Overmars to Barcelona for 30 plus. Fucking, that was like 20 fucking plus years ago from these sort of sales. Do you know what I mean? How the fuck are we still only hitting them sales? Do you know why? Because actually, Mark Overmars, who probably not single-handedly, that's unfair, but I always sort of think of the bad run of form that Manchester United sort of went on, and the excellent form that we went on. And I always think of that Old Trafford goal where he was put through and then he celebrates and does that. He was actually a fucking boy. That's why he went for massive money that time. Same as Nicola Anelka. But now we're trying to offload Iwobis. All respect to these players, but the Balagans, the Oxlade-Chamberlains, they're no fucking Mark Overmars is. How the fuck are we still not even sold a player for over 40 million quid, and we're in 2024?
Yeah.
Whose fault is this? This is Edu's fault, bruv. It's Edu's fault. And the thing is like one of the things I wanted to ask you, yeah, and it's one of the things that we'll all talk about, especially when it gets that transfer window opens or it starts getting, to mid to late December. There's obviously one voice on all, one name on all of our tongues, and his name's Victor Gyökeres. Yeah, we all know this guy, and there's no surprise that I was going to bring him up. He's got a release clause, so there's no faffing around, there's no pissing around, there's no Edu sending fucking negotiations and bids via carrier pigeon to fucking Portugal. Do you know what I mean? Because it seems like it takes that long. Do you know what I mean? With your little scroll, we bid 25 million under his value, puts his little E stamp in wax, gives it to the pigeon, and just goes, whoo. There you go. Off you go. We'll maybe hear back from him in 6 weeks when it's shut. Um, so thankfully, maybe that sort of part of it's done. Victor Gyökeres, bruv. How do we get this geezer in? And he's going to want to, quite rightfully, demand mega money, and Arsenal pay mega money. So it's probably, let's just say, for argument's sake, we do sign him, and it's going to be in the 200k a week, isn't it? It's going to be there or thereabouts. How do we give him that when we've got Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz here? Surely one of them's going to have to go. And this is the problem. I'm only thinking the solution is that sweet, sweet Saudi money. Other than that, who's going to buy these players? Havertz ain't going to go because Arteta is just, I mean, he's like that with him in training, isn't he? You know,
He
pull your
loves it.
short to the side again, Kai. You've had another stinker, but I love you. You're my boy. 65 million spent, 280 grand a year, a week. Uh, you know, you've got Gabriel Jesus. Surely is going to be the make weight, isn't he? Here, how the fuck do we get rid of him?
You see a player like Gabriel Jesus now, what is he worth? Let's say 15 million, 15 maybe. We
I
bought him for
in Europe,
45 to
yeah, 20 million there or
20 million.
thereabouts, give or take. In Europe,
Yes.
100%.
In
Yeah,
Europe, yes. Or we
yeah.
just wait for that Saudi money. That's all we can do, really. I think Arteta's not gonna buy. We're not gonna buy Gyökeres, but
Yeah.
it's very look. When have we bought a baller? When have we bought a baller, people? How long has it been? The last baller we bought, when was it? Sanchez was the last baller we bought,
He
and we
was a
only bought
boy, mate.
Sanchez because Barcelona had like an incredible team. Like even
MSN.
do you get me? Like even Sanchez can't get in that team. It's just they're just too
Yeah,
good. Do you get what I'm trying to say? They're just too
yeah.
good. So that was the last baller we bought. Gyökeres is
Aubameyang,
too.
maybe you could sort of add into that.
Yeah,
You could
Abba.
sort of add that. Yeah, you could put him in there maybe, but basically you've only named two in the last fucking 10 years. That's hardly great,
Disgraceful.
is it? Do you know what I mean?
Disgraceful.
It's
Disgraceful.
fucking
A team
disgraceful.
like Arsenal, a team like Arsenal, we've been missing out on players. Let me give you an example. Douglas Luiz, he chose to stay at Aston Villa and not come to Arsenal. Let me give you another one. Sesko, he chose to stay at Leipzig and not come to Arsenal.
Well, that's
What does
worrying
that tell you?
when you say it out loud, yeah. And I mean, we think the same here because I agree with you 100%. When you hear it out loud, that's fucking madness, isn't it? He chose to stay to Aston Villa, and not even the best Aston Villa either. Like they
Yeah,
were up and coming. Maybe United just sort of took part, but they weren't in the Champions League then.
yeah.
We're talking about a geezer just
And
sort
we're
of
talking about Aston Villa as well. We're bigger than
yeah,
them, Aaron. We're bigger than
much
them.
bigger.
And we should be bullying these teams, Aaron. That's the whole point of being a Champions League team, being a big club. You bully other clubs in transfers, like Real Madrid. If Real Madrid come to bully us about Saliba, they will get Saliba.
Yeah. Yeah, mate. Aces makes sorry, Aces. FC always makes a fantastic point here. 21 years without league title, 31 years without League Cup. In 1993, we last bloody won that. Do you know what I mean? Against Sheffield Wednesday. 30 like European trophy. I mean, like the Cup Winners' Cup, wasn't it? 5 years without the FA Cup, our trophy. And 85 years without winning. Yeah, 85 years when you add it all up. I mean, this ain't good enough, man. This is actually a good little point. I wasn't going to sort of ask this, but I'll briefly sort of ask it. Um, we're in the quarter final against Crystal Palace at home in the Emirates in the EFL Cup, a cup which AFC Always quite rightly says been 31 years that we haven't won, and we've been very, very, very poor in this competition in that time, by the way, since we've won it. Um, do you what what's your take on this? Do you think if we get Champions League football, whatever happens in the other competitions, but we win that cup, is that enough for you to keep Arteta?
No,
Yeah, yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
I cut you off because I've
yeah.
heard this
Good.
before. You see, I said no because this fan base was telling me that that was a plastic cup. Oh, since it's a plastic cup, then we don't count it. How about that? Now I'm not going to count FA Cup as well. Now I'm going to count the Champions League and the Premier League only for him to stay. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because these people they're digging a hole for themselves. They're going to fall in that hole. You see, they told you that the Carabao Cup is a plastic cup. The FA Cup we're too big for. The Community Shield we're too big for. What leaves us? It leaves us with the Champions League and the Premier League. Well, what if
Yeah,
you don't? Well, what if we don't win it then? Any accountability? Anybody's gonna, you know, anybody gonna talk about this? Anybody's gonna say, oh, that we missed out? Oh, okay. Do you know what they're gonna say? They're gonna say, oh, okay, let's go next season, innit? We'll try next season and then we'll see. That's what they'll basically say, Aaron, you know?
yeah.
But if they respected the cup, I'll maybe rethink it. But no, they don't respect the cup, so I don't respect their opinions, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we've got to right that wrong, because in my head I can think of since then. I mean, there might be another one. You might have to remind me or not. But since we've won that competition against Sheffield Wednesday in 1993, I can remember three finals, especially in my lifetime. Let's just say that. The first one being Chelsea 2-1, where we actually went 1-0 up against and a very, very, very young Theo Walcott give us the opener. But we played a very weak team in that final, and Didier Drogba absolutely bullied us, and inevitably Chelsea won 2-1. And then we come to the Birmingham final. I mean, I don't know
Martin.
how old you are, and how much sort of you remember where you're starting
Martin
from.
scored.
Yeah,
Martins.
Obafemi Martins. Yeah, that mess
Yeah.
up was it with Chesney and Koscielny, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean that we went one down. Nikola Jovic or Zigic, I think it was. Birmingham bought him
Yeah.
from Red Star Belgrade, an absolute 6'8" geezer. I mean, he was just. They went 1-0 up. We equalised with a Robin van Persie goal, which he actually, unfortunately, inevitably injured him, and he was out for that. I think he got subbed off a little bit later after that. And then that happened, 2-1 loss again. And then obviously like a 3-0 absolute pounding where Mustafi, for some sort of reason, near the halfway line, thought he'd just give a little backheader flick to whoever was in goal. Maybe it was Peter Cech at the time. And Sergio Aguero just runs through with about fucking 10 acres of space and just dinks him, which was the start of and I know Mustafi. The second you say Mustafi, everyone just starts shaking their head. Like, it's an absolute embarrassing. Surely we've got to do something in this competition, mate, haven't we? Like, and it comes up. We're playing that quarter final in sort of mid-December-ish, I believe. We've got to do something in there. If we have a respectful finish to the league, yeah, and you know, we only care about finishing first rather. But I'll say this: if we have if we pick up our season, yeah, and we do give it our fucking all, and you know, we have a respectable end to that, and we have a respectable end in all the other competitions, and we win the EFL Cup, will that be enough? Because I'm sort of thinking, you know, like I'm in it for winning trophies. I can see the point that you're saying. If we are how we are now in the league and we win that cup, I'll say cheers for the silver, but piss off. But if we still look like we can compete with these big boys in the end of it and have a cup, maybe my mind will be a little bit sort of swayed, like in terms of that. But it's Arteta out at the minute still, isn't it? I mean,
It's
he's
it's
gonna bin that cup
understandable.
off, isn't he, bro?
It's understandable, Aaron, that you feel like this. The reason why I'm so how do you say it? I'm not the reason why I'm not having it is because the money spent, you should not be winning just an EFL Cup. You can win that cup with
Yeah,
like a 300 mil.
yeah, you're
You don't
right.
need 100 million to win that cup. 800 millions means Champions League or Premier League. Sorry, that's the kind of money you spend to win a title. That's a big trophy.
Yeah,
Do you know
yeah,
what I'm saying? It's kind of like
yeah,
if I was a Burnley fan and I won, with all due respect, of course, and I won an FA Cup, I'll be over the moon. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But I'm Arsenal, so it's a bit different. So because we're Arsenal, we spent 800 million. If we spent 300, okay, and it was like phase 1 or 2, it'll be okay. I'll be okay with it. But
yeah,
phase 5, with 800 million spent to win one
yeah.
cup, that you lot all deemed it to be, oh, the plastic cup. Oh, come on,
It,
we don't we you can't be spending 800 million to get that, Aaron.
mate,
Sorry,
you're
yeah.
everything you say, brother, is absolutely right, and it's just another little reminder because I'm torn between if my manager wins me something, it's somewhat of a success. And I'm not going to say that everything else is a success, but I pay my money to go to the Emirates Stadium to ultimately get a ticket to Wembley or be able to see us lift the Premier League title, or be able to go to Wembley and lift things. That's all I want. Do you know what I mean? And I'm torn sometimes between, look, if you bring me success, maybe you get another chance. And I'm also torn between exactly all the points that you make. Quite fucking rightly say, we've not spent all of this money to win this cup. We haven't. We've won it. We've spent all of this dough to win the Premier League, to win the Champions League. You know, maybe my stance. Possible. I'll have to reevaluate myself and my own standards. I am Arteta out. Fucking absolutely get the cunt out. 150%. If we win something, and it be in the EFL because it's the first thing, I'll have to assess on the spot sort of how I feel. But up until now, it's just not been good enough, has it, bruv? Like, it's just been nowhere near good enough. And the points that you make, home run. This why I was buzzing to get you on here, man. Because in what I've seen of you, do you know what I mean? You're talking absolute fucking facts, sense, home run after home run. And this fan base needs people like you, needs people like me to actually fucking start talking normal fucking sense. Just quickly, just before we slightly move on, because I want to move on very briefly to the sporting game in the week. Can you see Arsenal? We talked about Victor Gyökeres. Can you see Stan, Edu? Well, not Edu anymore. Arteta having the bollocks to even try to get Gyökeres here by releasing it?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Not doing what needs to be done, bruv.
I think we're gonna get Sesko. I mean, maybe not this January. Maybe in the summer we'll get Sesko, because Sesko now is like 50. I think it's 50 mil to get Sesko now. Cheap option.
Yeah.
You know how it is, Aaron.
Yeah.
You
We've
know?
done it for years, mate. We've done it
Yeah.
for fucking years.
Yeah. We've done it as well when we went for Douglas Luiz and he said no. We didn't say no. We couldn't get it over the line. We couldn't bully them. Who did we go for? We went for Jorginho. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. We went for Mudryk. All right, that was a swerve, thankfully. But we went for an 100 million Mudryk and ended up with Trossard. Now, I'm quite glad with that. Sometimes it works out. But the point that you're trying to make is we've gone for our number one big targets. We ain't got them. We should have gone for Caicedo. And we get fucking Jorginho. Jorginho, look, he's done okay in certain bits, but he's the player that ain't going to go, Arsenal won the league because of Jorginho.
My point
No
is
one's
that
saying
we
that,
always,
are they?
yeah, but my point is that we only go for the cheap option. That's my point. You said Gyökeres. I would want Gyökeres. Of course I would. That's kind of like a dream now with Arsenal. But who we
Yeah,
gonna get? We're gonna get Sesko. I'm not gonna say. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna
yeah,
say, Gyökeres is like the next bit. No, Gyökeres is a killer, and there's not a lot of killers out there. Okay. See, we have a problem with ballers. We don't sign. We never sign a star. We make the star and then we sell it to other people
yeah,
or
yeah.
other clubs. Sorry, we sell it to other clubs. That's what
Annoyingly, as well, it's not even like we're selling them because we want to make profit. We end up selling these big players because they've realised that they're not fucking winning anything at Arsenal, and other clubs are going, he's fucking good, we'll have him. Look at what
yeah.
Manchester City done. They picked the bones out of us. We
Listen to
even
Van
give Robin
Persie.
van Persie to Madrid. Right, in it, there you go. We even give Robin van Persie to Manchester United. Juventus, I think, in that summer, offered about 16 million. Manchester United offered 24. I'd have rather Robin van Persie go to Juventus for free than give him to Manchester United. We
Me
sold
too.
Wenger
Me too.
sold his soul in that transfer. I'd lost faith in Arsene Wenger when we lost 8-2 to him. But Wenger lost. He sold his soul when he sold Robin van Persie. There, he could have. Like I said, Juventus bid that money. Fuck off to Turin, mate. Go to Turin. Just don't be anywhere near the Premier League. Look what happens. We had to give him a guard of honor. Let's give
Yeah.
the geezer a guard of honor at the Emirates. Come on, man. Come on. That's what we've
It's
done for 24 pissing million quid. I wasn't there that day, but Arsenal fans will have had to sat there in their 60s of thousands and clapped. Well, they wouldn't have, or they shouldn't have, and
no.
had to watch Robin van Persie be crowned and being given a guard of honor as a Premier League champion 1 year after leaving us. That's fucking unforgivable, bruv. Absolutely unforgivable, man. Like, come on. That's shocking shit, isn't it? That's terrible behaviour, bruv.
It
But
is.
look, I want to move it on quickly just to sporting on Tuesday. Yeah, I'll be flying out there to watch the high flying Portugal take on the conquerors of the mighty Nottingham Forest Arsenal. They're sitting very, very, very pretty second in the Champions League in that table. We're sitting in the dizzy heights of 12th, mate. The dizzy heights, mate.
We,
After they dismantled Manchester City, I'm not massively looking forward to it, to be fair. But it is a breakaway for the missus and kids. Shush. So
okay.
no, yeah, we won't. She's not listening, I don't think. And if she is, well, there goes
Say
sex tonight.
sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, babe. Yeah. Do you reckon I'm going to be flying home on Wednesday with a smile on my face?
Good news is that Sporting lost their manager, and they didn't lose him like other clubs. When their
Yeah.
manager gets sacked or something, the manager wasn't sacked; he left. So that's good news. I don't know about the new manager. I don't know what they're doing right now, but like that gives us a little up. If we was to meet Amarim, the Sporting Amarim, that would have been a tough game.
Yeah.
But we're kind of lucky there. So I think, in my opinion, we might get something there. But you know what it is? It's like the problem is that in Champions League there's pressure. There's
Yeah.
pressure because in the Premier League, most of the people already gave up. But like Champions League, there's still pressure. We haven't even, we've lost the game. We're not steady in the Champions League. So no pressure FC doesn't work in Champions League. There's pressure
Yeah.
FC in Champions League. So I think I think we'll get a draw. I think it'll be a draw. I don't know if a draw will make you happy, but yeah, I think a draw, to be honest.
I don't know. Considering how good they looked. Like you said, I know you touched on the manager not being there, but it's not as if that club's gonna fucking crumble after a couple
Yeah,
of weeks,
yeah,
is it? Do you know what I mean? Like that ethos is still sort of there. And then players are there, obviously still, and then performances there, and more importantly, Victor Gyökeres is still there. Um, it's gonna, I reckon, like I'm not looking forward to it, and I reckon it's gonna be one of them things where Victor Gyökeres is gonna turn up and go, "This is why you should have fucking paid my release clause in the summer instead of buying Mourinho." Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? Instead of waiting all summer and then buying Raheem the Dream
Sterling.
Sterling, which I now just am totally convinced he's just come back in Yossi Benayoun 2012 form. Like it
Oh,
is just the parallels are unbelievable. It's a season-long loan from Chelsea. They're both finished. Like they're both signed for us because we signed Chelsea rejects. I mean, it just can't get any more the same. Like, if anything, I actually think Benayoun might be a little bit better than this Sterling. But I mean, I digress, man. Like, I just think he's going to bite us in the arse, Victor Gyökeres. Um, I'm just going to go out there. I've gone out there with a headset, yeah. The mindset rather of just I'm going to go out there, enjoy the city. I'm going to go with all
enjoy
the
the
Arsenal
weather.
fans away, get absolutely fucking steaming. Um,
Yeah.
maybe have one eye open for the game after drinking too much Sagres out there at €2 a pint. Why not? Do you know what I mean? Why not?
Yeah.
And then just give maybe the sloppiest sort of fan cam review on my phone that you'd ever fucking seen. Dribbling, one eye open, one's looking that way, one's looking that way. I hope so, mate. Do you know what I mean? I hope we can sort of come back and sort of have a decent little thing. I mean, a win there would be a real statement of intent, but I mean, come on, man. Do you think, does anyone in the chat actually think, do you know what, Arsenal can go there and do that? I sort of don't think so. And then we've got Monaco after, who are sitting third, bruv, exactly the same stats. Do you think while we're talking about Champions League very briefly, and then we're going to sort of wrap up very soon? Do you sort of think that Arsenal are in a little bit of fucking worry because our next two games are against second and third? If we lose these two, mate, I know you get the top 8 through there, and then it's the next 16, which brings you down to 24. Bruv, we lose the next two games, we're in the 20s.
Yeah.
We're in the 20s. Do you actually worry about this Champions League campaign, bruv?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And like I said, there's no pressure FC. It doesn't work in Champions League because there is pressure. There is pressure because not qualifying would get people thinking. They'll be even top gooners will be like, oh, this is unacceptable. Well, duh. How long have we been saying this?
Yeah,
It will raise some eyebrows if if we don't qualify. So I think Arteta's really pressed about Champions League. He's gonna really go for it. I think that he didn't play Havertz because of Champions League. I think Havertz gonna be yeah, he's gonna be up front for us
yeah,
against Sporting. You know
yeah, definitely, yeah, yeah. I think
that tells you a lot.
yeah, to jump in as well with what you're sort of saying, I reckon the reason why he didn't bring on Martinelli and didn't, I don't think he brought on Havertz. I reckon that's because he's thinking about this game as well on Tuesday. You know, I think we will see Havertz start. I think we will see Martinelli start. Um, I don't know about Declan Rice, but maybe that's why he left Jorginho on and give maybe that was the plan to give Jorginho and Party a 50-50 so they can both sort of start Party and Rice. I don't really know. Like maybe you'll know a little bit more than me. I haven't looked. Is there any update on Rice? Is he sort of looking like he could be in contention, or are we gonna run the fucker
Well,
into the ground?
you never know with Arteta. Didn't
Yeah,
you
yeah,
read Zichenko's book?
yeah.
He does
Yeah,
his
I've heard the
tactic.
quotes.
Yeah, exactly. He's a tactician. He's a tactician. He does a Houdini. That's what he does. Listen, he told us that players sometimes he tells us that players are not available, and then you find them in the first team. He tries to do all these tactics, but if you're not that, if your in-game management is shit, you're not really gonna get anywhere, even with the tactics. But
Yeah,
with Declan Rice, I think Declan Rice is gonna be there. I think Declan Rice and Partey is gonna be like the usual flat football. Declan Rice and Partey, right?
yeah.
Blessed TV, big up. So you've
Big up,
got
man.
it's gonna be Declan Rice and Partey, and it's gonna be Odegaard, and it's gonna be the usual football. Martinelli just making runs for no reason, just making runs. Nobody's gonna
Head
find him.
down.
Head down, runs, hedgehog,
And
Sonic,
like Sonic, yeah, 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 you
Sonic.
know it.
The back
Sonic,
four
definitely
will
not
be
fucking Supersonic, mate. And he's collecting rings like a fucking Top Gooner, isn't he? Jesus
exactly.
Christ, man, that's no good, man.
No,
Fuck's
that's what's
sake.
gonna happen. Havertz trying to play the Harry Kane, and Odegaard trying to find some space. Maybe he'll create one or two chances, and that's it. Saka, you can keep him quiet if you have a decent left back. Um, Apart from that, really, yeah, Saka maybe is the best shot to get anything, really. You know.
Yeah,
Apart from that, really, I think that they're all gonna play. I think that he actually rested the team for Sporting. Why? Because there is pressure in the Champions League, people.
yeah.
There's no
And
pressure
we're
in the
no good
league.
under pressure, bruv. And that's
Thank you.
and that's the thing. You wouldn't be surprised as well, yeah, to quickly make that point before we just slightly move on. Um, Like it wouldn't surprise me if we did sort of maybe pull a sort of run together in the league. Why? Because we're 9 points behind and there's no fucking pressure. That's the points that
Yes,
you're making, isn't it? But then when
that's
it
right.
comes to maybe, let's just say for argument's sake, in a scenario where in March we start getting to the point maybe where we're only 5 points behind or 3 points behind. As soon as it gets to that game where it could be, say, a Liverpool at Anfield, and you're like, do you know what? If you win at Anfield, there's only 1 points difference with 8 games to go, just for argument's sake. We'll shit the bed and lose 4-0.
Yeah.
That's what we're
If
saying, isn't it? When it
mm,
when it needs to happen, we'll fucking absolutely fart in our knickers, wouldn't we, mate?
yes, we will. If we were under pressure, I don't think we would have won. We would have beat Nottingham Forest 3-0 and so comfortably like
Yeah,
we did. I
yeah.
think you know what I'm
But
saying. We could, shit will happen with Arsenal. So anytime there's pressure involved, watch out.
yeah, one hundred
Watch
percent.
out.
So we're gonna wrap up in a second, but what I did want to do, just before I'll leave, is give a like and a subscribe on the channel. It's always appreciated as well. Just quickly shout yours out. We're gonna carry on for a little bit, but shout yours out, Rashid,
Yeah.
bro.
Oh yeah, like I said, my channel is a new channel, Arsenal Revolution TV. Tune in. There's gonna be match review reactions for now, and I'm gonna start a new Powella podcast of Raise the Standards. So every episode, I'm gonna try to bring in someone, bring in the whole team. I want to collab with everyone in the whole team. Our people, our
Yeah,
people. So
buzzing.
yeah, that's the plan. So tune in, subscribe, and show some brother love.
Definitely, 100%, and I will definitely be keeping my eye out for that because I like one watching new content come out from new YouTubers like yourself who's got fucking brain and who ain't a spastic. And two, you know what I mean? We got to help each other out, bruv. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But I'm gonna wrap up just in a second. But before I do, I want to do my wanker of the week. I haven't done it in a little while, Rashid. I haven't done it in a little while,
Let's
yeah.
see it.
So my wanker of the week, yeah. So right, I was in the Emirates Stadium, right,
Mm.
people, yeah, Rashid. I was watching a fucking disgrace, bruv, yeah? And I mean a fucking disgrace. Strolling around the fucking gaff like a 60 a day smoker, ponging them fucking Marlboros one after one, lighting it, smoking it, and lighting it. Lazy, useless pig. Some neat passes, but he couldn't beat his man for shit in any single attempt that he'd done it. He's admitted, right? Yeah, he's admitted loud and clear he can't score for shit. And guess what? We are seeing it. His last league goal, people, was against Nottingham Forest, coincidentally, in fucking January, nearly 10 months ago, while sitting and earning a little cheeky cushy 260k a week. So since he last scored, yeah, that's right, maths, he has earned 10 million quid net from this fucking club. Gabriel Jesus, you genuinely are this week's piece of absolute fucking shit, and you deserve my little wanker of the week award. You useless, useless fucker. Saudi money, please come in and take this injury prone, useless, fucking inept, couldn't hit a barn door Bolivian piece of shit off of our fucking hands and just deliver us anything else but that geezer. Man, we're going to close up there, man. Rashid, it's been
Lovely.
an absolute fucking pleasure you jumping on, bruv.
Thank you.
Hopefully, there'll be more in the pipeline. And if you ever wanted me to jump on your channel while you're doing one of your bits, man, just give us a shout. And if I can do it, I can absolutely do it for you, bruv. You know, I've got a lot of time for people like you who have got a bit of fucking sense. Do you know what I mean? Who's
You're
got a bit of
defo. You're
sense.
defo on the roster. I've been watching you, Aaron, for time now, and
Appreciate
like
it.
I told you, I liked your video. I liked your content in 3 minutes. So you're defo in the roster. So yeah, keep an eye out, guys.
I will look forward to that, man. And we will leave it there. Big up everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, man. Take it easy. And give some love to Rashid, man. Like and subscribe to his channel, yeah? Big up.